gonna calm down later on, maybe.
Hopefully.
Arriba! What was that little Speedy Gonzales?
Sí. Speedy Gonzales.
Andre!
Ándale, ándale.
Arriba.
The pases mal in Hola Mexico. And we're talking about nationalism
I
today.
know. I think we're live, ladies. So.
Ooh, yeah. Well, authentic.
We do life good.
Ladies and gentlemen, you too can have an accent like mine for only $39.95 down and 3 easy payments of $9.95. Ring 1-800-NO-BRITS. Of course we want Brits. Of course we want Brits. It's just the way.
This message has been approved by.
It's just the way I learnt it. Okay, let's see. Lederhosen update. That's not what I wanted. I didn't want Lederhosen update. No?
It's Monday.
That's Monday, wasn't it? I know we've already done that one.
Yeah.
You updated your lederhosens.
Yeah, but why isn't it showing me my live? Oh, there we go, live.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Power moment.
Yeah.
It's my faulty time moment. Okay. What I'm doing now, I'm gonna stop that because it's coming through. But I'm gonna carry on watching the things, the thing. Okay, we're all ready. Should we start again? No, we won't start again.
We're here now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Balcony Banter. Today is Wednesday, the 17th of March, which just so happens to be St. Patrick's Day, which is the patron saint of a certain country not a million miles away from the UK.
No, but a bit further away from here.
A bit further away from here.
Lá Féile Pádraig Chonadíomh.
Lá Féile Pádraig Chonadíomh.
There you go.
There you go.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. to
Happy
all of
St.
you.
Patrick's Day, yes. Christina's got a Guinness. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
Just don't. There you go. It's in a Bavarian Oktoberfest glass because we don't have a Guinness glass.
Very international.
But it'll do. The rest of the Guinnesses are still in the freezer because they've just arrived, courtesy of Giuliani, and we got to get them a little bit colder before we sup them. So we are on the non-alcoholic wine.
Yeah, right.
Mm.
Cheers. Sláinte.
I know, no calories it says, because I looked on the label and it doesn't say any calories.
But wine, in
It's
other words.
Lederhosen, yeah. Now, before we start, what I want to do. Ooh,
I'm just trying to move my chair.
there you go.
No,
There we go.
strong.
So before we start, in fact we have started, but right at the top of the thing, I just want to say thank you to Tom Herdman. We had a chat at the weekend and we have an understanding, and he wants to get to 500 people, and he's not going to spam the comments anymore, because I'm going to say, if you haven't subscribed to him, subscribe to him, please. Thank you very much. And that was my Tom Herdman moment
Your ad
for
for
today.
Tom.
That's my ad for Tom.
Trauma ad.
Tom ad.
Boing, boing.
Did that work?
Works.
For some reason I've turned it off, but there you go. The music's turned off, but there you go.
But we're still live.
We're still
And
live. We're
exclusive.
still live and exclusive. We've been in for 3 minutes and 48 seconds.
And everybody's left.
I've actually got to take these glasses off because I don't need them for close up. You see, I don't need them for close up. So I'm looking that way at the girls, and I'm looking slightly down at Cleo. Cleo's on the bottom left.
You're looking down on me.
Not looking down at you, but you know what I mean. We're in 4 little squares.
Okay.
So if you look to
Here's
your
the story
left,
of the
if you look that
lovely
way,
lady.
if you look that way,
Okay.
and then up, that's me.
Okay.
No, sorry, the other way. If you look at me and up,
This is
and
the
that's
blind
me.
leading
And
the
if you
blind.
look all the way up, then that's Christina and
There.
and
Hi
thing.
guys.
Okay, today we have a subject close to my heart, which is, I mean, I named it, but it came off, a few people decided what we wanted to talk about, national identity or patriotism or nationalism. And I thought those are like 3 facets of the same feeling. So national identity, patriotism and nationalism. And I subtitled it, the good, the bad, and the downright ugly.
I like it. Yeah.
So basically,
different. They're very different.
the question is, because it's St. Patrick's Day, and a lot of people celebrate St. Patrick's Day that are Irish. A lot of people who are Irish don't celebrate St. Patrick's Day.
Well, they celebrate in a quiet
In
way.
a quieter way.
I mean, or they stay at home, close the door.
And of course, there are a lot of people who aren't Irish that
a
celebrate
lot
St. Patrick's Day.
more people who aren't Irish.
But the thing is we're going to talk about national or cultural appropriation as well, a little bit. We're not going to get on the nasty side. We're not going to go down the route of nationalism, but I just wanted to keep that at the end for you to just to know that good meaning things can end up meaning bad eventually if we do that. So
Possibly sometimes with the best of intentions.
With
Or
the best of
people- or
intentions,
people don't realise that they're either being racist or culturally appropriativist.
Okay, I'm not going to use the word racist
All
today
right, well, I won't
because
use it
that
again.
means something totally different to nationalism. So you can be,
Yes.
the nationalist is feeling good about your country, and racism
And your
is
culture. I think culture even more than country, actually.
then that's not nationalism, that's culturism. But I think, if you associate a nation with a culture,
Yeah.
which I think is wrong, personally.
Okay,
So I
I
don't
get your
I don't
point,
think
I get
that
your point.
I don't think every English person is exactly the same. I don't
No.
think that,
But is there an English culture?
No,
So there isn't a culture that is specifically English.
no. There's a culture that grew up in the area which is named England, but they're all different. I don't want to get too deep too
Okay,
quick.
that's another
Too deep too
huge
quick.
fascinating.
It is, yeah. Because I was actually born in Manchester,
Yeah.
but I don't feel like I belong there anymore because I've left when I was
Gazillions years ago.
Yeah, well, I was 17, I think, when I left. So I was like a teenager in Manchester. So I don't really feel like a Mancunian.
Union.
No, I don't.
Okay.
And in fact,
Wow.
somebody said you were born actually in Salford, which I didn't know because I don't remember when I was. Well, I remember where I was born, but I was too young to remember
You
it.
could say I wasn't there at the
Right,
time, yeah.
I wasn't there at the time. Okay, excuse me for not reading the comments straight away. I do apologise. If you've done something that's really, really, really important, type it again. I don't mind that. But and we'll get to it eventually. Don't think I'm ignoring you. Anyway, so that's what we're talking about. So we're talking about national identity because it's St. Patrick's Day, and also we can talk about other facets of that as well.
Good.
And I've sort of outed myself a little bit
Yeah.
as not feeling the need for nationalism or not feeling the need for a national identity because I've lived in so many different countries. So that means I can pick and choose the best bits of all of them,
Yeah.
and I can leave all the bad bits. So I love the America where it's sort of easy, laid back, and
West Coast.
yeah. It's well, I was actually on the East Coast.
Yeah.
And
Nation.
and I can leave the way the split between Republican and Democrat.
I'm going to catch you immediately because I remember somebody talking about a melting pot, and somebody a couple of years ago, maybe 10 years ago, and I think they were talking about New York, and they said it's not a melting pot because a melting pot means that everybody's identity becomes mixed up and lost because they melt.
Yeah.
It's more like a salad.
Yeah,
A
it
salad
is.
bowl.
Or una
Because-
Macedonia.
Because people keep their own identity, but they
We're gonna get to that
enhance
in a minute.
everybody else's by
Like-
being together.
Exactly.
And I
A
love
fruit.
that.
That's a very good point. It's keeping your pride, and you
Yeah.
should be. Or I always say, home is where the heart is, but mine is multiculti.
Yeah,
And then,
exactly. But where's home?
Exactly.
Oh, where's the
Mine
heart?
my home is where I feel good.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
can feel good in a lot of countries, and with a lot of cultures, as you were saying earlier on, and nationalities and cultures.
They are
I
different.
think there is a difference in it.
And nationality and nationalism are hugely different.
Absolutely.
I mean, growing up in Ireland, and even now, or say during the peace process, or now with say the Good Friday Accord and everything, to be called a nationalist at certain parts of my growing up in Ireland was either an insult or a challenge, depending on who you were talking to, because it could have meant that you were anti-British or that you were a Republican.
Yeah.
Whereas to be proud of being Irish is, to me, is a completely different thing. And it's kind of, I accept what Tim says about culturalism and nationalism being two very, very different things as well.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking, when somebody says to me at Christmas, in the olden days when we were allowed travel, are you going home for Christmas? I don't even have to think about what that means. It means my dad's, no, it means my dad's house in Dublin.
Okay.
And it will always mean that.
It's funny.
And I've lived here for 21 years.
It's I had a similar feeling like years ago that I felt, and I'm saying I felt because it is a feeling we actually identify with. It's only a feeling. I felt at some point that Germany is my my home.
Your birth home?
And my birth home, and this is where I need to spend the holidays. But then came a time period where I did not identify so much anymore with Germany, and that didn't mean that I did not don't love it. I love Germany. And the friends and all that, but this has become more my home. So the feeling, obviously, has a lot to do with feeling and what we identify with.
And context. I think
Yes.
context is really important.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
it boils down to identifying with something. So when we talk about patriotism and nationalism, we identify with the nationality or with the culture, or we identify
flag.
with exactly a flag,
Yeah.
a shamrock.
Yeah, or you know,
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the riots on January the 6th in the States, because they said they were patriots, and they were shouting USA, and you're thinking, hang on, you're shouting USA and you're attacking your own government buildings, and that was a real dichotomy for me, because it was about who interprets
Yeah.
what patriotism means, and
But that's identifying with something, and identification is with the feeling. It has a lot to do with feeling. So just take for instance something we identify with early in our childhood. Like the first thing we maybe identify with is our little stuffed animal or doll or whatever, and that's mine, and
Millie.
that's me, and if you take it away, then I'm crying or I'm
Yeah.
angry.
yeah,
You know.
I even remember her. Her name
I have
was-
to
her name was
apologise to
Millie.
everybody. We did a sound check before we started, and we did everything. We can all hear ourselves, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't plug it in.
So none of this has gone out.
No, it has gone out, but you've all been using the internal mic of the iPad. So
Right.
you've been. It's only me, they said only my mic's on. It's because I'm sat right in front of it.
Okay.
So I've
We
plugged
don't
them.
tell us we have to repeat.
No.
all that.
I've plugged them in now, so
Okay.
we'll see. If you're watching this on catch up, that's what we call a faulty towers moment.
Yeah.
So we had two already
We've had
today.
two. Padoing.
Two.
And both of them were Tim's.
Timmy
But we're
baby.
not playing the blame game, Timmy baby.
There is no blame in this house.
He's
No.
been working hard
Exactly.
today.
Christine, how about you? What do you call home now?
Ginsburg, Bavaria.
So that's still home, isn't it?
That's still home, yeah.
But that's not your parents' house.
No,
But it's
In fact,
Yeah.
nobody we know lives there anymore.
no.
but it feels like this is
But I know all the streets, everything where I spent my youth. I miss the river, because there's no rivers here.
it's funny, isn't it? I miss rivers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what was the street you were called? What was the street called you lived in?
Zur schönen Gelegenheit 12.
So, schöne
So
Gelegenheit.
schöne Gelegenheit.
And how would you translate that to English? Can you have a stab at it, Julie?
to the
To being used
beautiful
to.
opportunity.
To the beautiful
12.
Yeah, the beautiful opportunity 12,
And you think Spanish
Wow.
street names are bizarre.
and it was right in the middle of the town, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And what was right next door?
Die Minibar.
Oh, that was the
The
opportunity.
VG bar.
It was a beautiful opportunity.
Oh yeah.
No, that was the place where it was a legal puff, they call it.
Okay.
It was
A smokehouse.
a house of ill repute.
Oh.
Don't you just love houses? See, that's what you call home, a house of ill repute.
So
What was the name of the street you grew up on, Tim?
actually, let me just put me back on here. So 1, 2, 3. So there's 3 of us on now. I actually don't know. I mean, I do know. It was in Prestwich when I was went to junior school, and that was Kingswood Road.
Okay.
And then my mum and dad got promoted, so they decided to move to Whitefield, which is a nicer,
Posher.
well, it wasn't posher, but it was newer.
Okay, all right.
And it was bungalows. Mm-hmm. And so that was Hillsborough Drive. Then my grandma died, and we had to move to Sunnybank Road.
Drive is always like a step up from road, wasn't it?
Right. But the thing is that means from being born to the house I don't remember, to growing up in the Kingswood Road, to moving to Hillsborough Drive, to moving to Sunnybank Road, I was 12. So I'd moved 3 times.
Wow.
That's
by
a
the time I was
lot.
12. And then my mum and dad my dad had a breakdown and said, that's it, I'm getting out the rat race, and decided to go and buy a house in North Wales.
Wow.
So he said, you can either stay or come, and I was 17 at the time, so I went to Wales
With him.
with them both.
Right,
Well,
yeah, good.
Went with them both. So we went to Wales, and that was the first time I was a foreigner, I think. That was the first
In
time
Wales?
In Wales. I felt a
Okay.
foreigner in Wales. In fact, one of my distant cousins was working in the job centre, because my mum's Welsh, right? And one of the distant cousins working in the job centre, and I remember him distinctly saying, we don't even have enough jobs for our own people.
There you go.
All right?
Yeah.
There you go.
So
And that's nationalism.
yeah. But that was the first time I felt like a foreigner. And then from there I went to London, and I felt more like a foreigner
Yeah.
because I'm a dirty northerner.
But, okay, and I'm going to pause and ask you, is there a difference in these contexts between a foreigner and an outsider?
A foreigner and an outsider.
Outsider is more like to be
I don't think
excluded,
so.
isn't it? Oh,
I
okay.
don't think so. I think from the person who is the foreigner, there's no difference. But maybe the person who's trying to pinhole you, there's a difference. But to the person who feels it, it's you're not one of us. So
I mean, over here, for our first couple of years, we were probably all called giddies,
Yeah.
yeah.
which is the kind of local word for
Well,
outsider.
I had a giddy
This one?
aunt.
You're the giddy aunt.
Oh, my giddy aunt.
But giddy, no, it is. I mean, for the people who don't live here, if you're a giddy, you're not a resident. You're not accepted yet as a resident. And I think when I probably moved from giddy to resident after about 3 years.
Okay.
And it was kind of like, it was a nice feeling. But people, not that they didn't, overnight people didn't treat me differently, but I became one of them. One of us rather than one of the outsiders.
Yeah.
And I think it happened because of my attitude, maybe.
Yeah. It
But
has
I mean,
a
that's
lot
kind
to
of
do with
relevant,
that.
isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. I start to speak Spanish
Yeah.
slowly, badly.
So you are Giri Canaria.
I was, and now I'm la irlandesa de Callao, or la irlandesa de Adeje, or la dejera de Irlanda.
And ich bin El.
Du bist.
El.
El.
Du
Ich bin.
bist.
Did you say ich bin?
I said,
Estoy.
Ja, ich bin.
Estoy El.
Soy.
Estoy. Ladies and gentlemen, estoy. Anyway, I'm just looking at some of the things going past in the comments. Thank you very, very much for everybody commenting there. There's 229 people watching.
Wow.
Hello,
And
229
I just saw
people.
someone that on the census in Britain, he puts down Earthling.
Earthling.
Oh, I love it. I love
That's
it.
good.
Brilliant.
I love that.
I can't even remember who it was. Hong
Earthling.
Kong Fooey, maybe, I don't know, or somebody's
Ein
story.
kleiner Erdling.
But the first time I interviewed you officially, Tim, on the Radio Sewer program, we talked about this because you said you didn't feel. We were talking about Brexit actually, about probably
Oh my golly
4
gosh.
years ago, and you were kind of saying, well, you wouldn't describe yourself as British. You were more like a citizen, an international citizen.
I think I am.
Yeah.
We have a guest actually just arrived,
Oh.
and so I'm going to bring him on. You all know and love him. And there he is, the Mac Master. Can we hear you? Can we hear you now?
Can hear you.
Can we hear you?
Can you hear me?
Sound check.
Check, check. 1, 2, 1,
Lee?
2.
Okay, hang on a sec. I don't know how to unmute you. Are you muted now? Okay, just keep talking. I'll get to it eventually.
Feels like
One,
the drum roll.
It
2,
does.
3, 4.
golly gosh.
Are we going to do Eurovision Song Contest special, by the way, or am I the only fan?
Can you have a look to see whether you've muted yourself? There's a
I
little
can have a
button
look.
maybe with the
We're just talking
microphone.
about ourselves.
Yeah.
No, it's all
No, they don't.
good.
Anyway,
no,
so,
that's okay.
so I never go to. I don't
Unfortunately,
think I've
we
ever gone
can't
to an
hear
Irish
you.
bar here.
We can't. Oh,
Can't
I
hear
know what
me.
it is.
It's
Okay, try again.
40 Towers number
1, 2, 1,
3.
2.
Try again.
1, 2.
Come in, Lee.
1, 2.
Hey, there you
Hey.
are.
Riley.
Mark Conning Olsen, come in, Olsen. Mark Conning Olsen.
More coming. Nano. So,
Can we have your vote, please?
you know, I don't know whether you saw the. I don't know whether you saw the beginning or not, but basically, I was talking and we'd done a sound check and everything, and I hadn't plugged the board into the iPad, right? And then you came on, and I hadn't selected the channel that you come back on, and then I selected it. I thought, well, it should work now, but the volume slider was all the way at the bottom.
Hey, well, we all have these problems. Remember, I messaged you, but don't tell anybody this.
No.
But when I got this Insta360, I spent 3 hours trying to connect the Bluetooth on this.
You did.
And I was even going to call you, and I was going, this is rubbish. It's garbage. It's rubbish. What I needed to do, what it says won't connect, was to peel the little plastic sticker off the back of there. Then it worked.
It's always a technical thing.
What
isn't
did it say on the plastic sticker?
It said, attention, important, remove before
Yeah.
use.
Yeah. Attention.
It didn't say idiot or anything like that. No.
Only you did. Oh,
Sorry,
the girls can't see
Egypt.
you, by the way. Only
Yeah.
I can see you. The girls can't see you.
But
he's
we
looking
can
really
hear
good.
you,
I can hear
Lee.
you, Lee.
You don't need to see me.
He's got a
I'm
great
looking
haircut.
rough.
He's got a good haircut there. Did one of your family do it?
I've not had a haircut. I've just brushed it, well, gelled it.
Oh,
That,
you
yeah,
gelled
brushing
it,
is a
okay.
good thing.
Brush
Yeah,
it.
Just try
yours
it
is
once
looking
and
good.
it all
Yours is
fell
looking
out.
good too.
I'm on the spit and polish me.
Hey, guess
Yes.
what?
What?
Do you know how many views we've had from yesterday's live stream?
Let me just tell the girls where I was. I was down in the pub and
The pub.
the pub down at the Monte Cristo, and I told Christina, so don't worry.
The opportunity number 12, right?
She's
Yeah.
number 12, yeah. And what happened was Lee contacted me and said, "Can you answer a few questions? You see, for the viewers." I said, "Okay." So I went on like that, and I'm just like normal, you know, couple of hundred people, blah blah blah. And now tell me, go on.
Well, there was 1,100 people watching us live, and we've now had 11,000 views since
Oh
last
my
night.
gosh.
Wow.
Wow.
And
And
here's
that's
me doing what I normally do,
progressive.
talking off the top of my head, you know.
Which is what you
I'll
always
tell
do.
you what, though, I have to tell you this. You have had some fantastic feedback. I don't know if you've read the comments.
I read the comments yesterday. I haven't read them since, though. I'll have to go back and have a look at the rest.
There has not been one. Normally you get some spam, you know,
Yeah.
not one, nothing.
Trolley dollies.
Oh, great. I
Trolley
mean,
dollies.
apparently they want me for president and the prime minister and everything, so
But Russia are backing you, is that right?
Russia is backing me. They have a special set of skills.
Yes. But you must
You're
not bring
making
people
Turkey
onto
great
scale.
again.
I got to look in the camera. I'm not going to look in the camera. Haley. Yeah, I'm really jealous about. He's got a new Insta360 Go, which is the little cam. You know the one I put on the hat cam.
Okay.
So he's got the latest version of the hat cam. Basically, the hat cam that I bought was the version 1. It was the tryout. It was, you know, the easy one.
Introducing boys and their toys.
I'm not kidding you. I am not kidding you. I've listened and I've seen. Oh, it's right here. He's on. It's on it. He's only just trying to sell his merchandise caps now. Here we go.
Yeah. Look at
There
that.
we go. I'll put a link to the merchandise for the Macmaster in the thing below. There we go. And we'll link to his channel as well. I don't think there's anybody watching that doesn't know who this guy is. That's pretty cool. And he's got this little thing now, and the tone is fantastic. The colour science, you can choose from
Okay.
different colour sciences. They've actually got to full HD now, so it's 1440p in a circle. So when you crop it into 16:9, it's full HD.
Whoa! Careful, that's going to come swinging in.
Oh.
Okay, we're having a Faulty Towers moment number
What's that?
4.
That's
Careful,
lights.
Ken. Careful, Chris.
I got it.
Is there an earthquake?
No, wind. Okay. Careful. I'm not going to stand up because it'll. Okay, yeah, up it
You
goes.
got it.
There we go.
Good.
Oh my goodness.
Glasses on.
That was a bit frightening.
Yeah.
He will not know.
I'm just a poor boy, nobody loves me.
He's just a poor boy from a poor family.
Where is life of responsibility? Easy come, easy go, we'll let me go.
Do we have to keep singing?
We will not
No, we will let you go. Let him go. Which will not particular. Oh my God. We nearly died
Things
there.
we have to do here at the interval.
The
It's just
things we do
unbelievable.
at the interval.
Was that not an
Do you
interval?
know,
It was
do
not
you know
an
if you had
interval,
the
no.
brand new, if you had the brand new if you had the brand new Insta360 Go 2, you'd have caught that on
I'd have
camera.
caught that. See, Chris? See, Chris?
And by now you'd have a new one installed.
Yeah. So, can I get one?
Cold
She's
rain.
reserving judgment. She's reserving judgment.
Prestige grinds.
We'll grind it down. We'll grind it down.
We'll just show people the sunset now. Here we go.
It's not even near the setting.
It's
bit.
not even near the setting now.
Like, in fact, doing balcony banter over the last couple of months, you really see how the seasons change. Because
Yeah.
when I started my first balcony banter with you guys, the sun would be touching the sea.
When was that actually?
4 months ago, maybe was it?
Yeah.
After my operation. The operation.
The
After.
operation.
I think so. So
Yeah.
October, November.
Yeah.
Actually, somebody's because they've put up the blinds now. The wind's whipping past us, so I apologise for that. We're 26 minutes in. If you're watching this on catch up, it could be at this moment you might see a little advert for something, and I don't control what you see. What you see is actually based on your searching. They're very, very clever, these Russians, And anyway, so you might get to see an advert around about now.
Put in the money. Put
in the money.
in the money.
Do you know that? Do you know I've got a story about that? It's a true story. Somebody actually did message me, and they said I've had to stop watching your videos because the adverts are all for.
Be careful. Be careful.
Yeah. Well, like
Things.
contraceptives and things. And I said, well, they're not based on what I search for. They're based on what you look at.
Exactly. Oh,
We just got a super chat, and it's to do with you, Lee. Anthony Petty is paying me £10 to tell you or ask you to pop to Middlesbrough to the world famous Pamo for Teesside Pop for a vlog.
Teesside Pub, what's that called?
It's called Pamo, he says, unless it's the world famous Pamo.
unless it's a typo.
Pamo.
No.
Pamo.
Let me have a look. Who's that?
That's Anthony Petty, you know him.
Hi, Anthony Petty. Yeah, I do. Pamo, world famous. Whatever, I'm just having a look at what it is.
The Panas down in Cork, actually. That's Patrick Street. That's a completely different thing since we're talking about Patrick's Day.
Where's it?
That's
Where's
the
it?
Pana.
The Pamo.
How have you been celebrating St. Patrick's Day, Lee?
I've been filming a vlog. I'll check that out, by the way, Anthony Petty. Thank you very much. I've been out filming a vlog today. And my next vlog, here you go. This is an exclusive on your channel.
Thank
It's
you,
called
Lee. Thank you.
Illegal Trip to the USA in Lockdown for a Burger and his Burger Shack. And I went to Nottingham to film it. All will be revealed. Obviously, it's clickbait.
Okay.
And all
No.
will be revealed.
No.
But I-
Not the McMaster and Cliff.
what are you saying?
Well, the subtitle of this one is "The Good, the Bad, and the Downright Ugly." So there's 4 pictures on the screen, so we can decide which ones we are.
You can choose.
Ugly people talk a lot.
Choice is
Yeah, but on the
yours.
screen I'm looking at, I'm the downright ugly on the screen. I'm looking at.
Oh, I can tell you what I can do. I can put an overlay on of Tenerife. There you go.
Very nice.
So we're now all in the palm trees now.
Oh, good.
Ooh.
You've got to watch it on catch up. Y'all got to watch it on catch up.
Y'all.
Y'all got to watch it on catch up.
Y'all. It's funny saying y'all. I remember okay, I'm jumping in here. Being Irish, one of the things you have to put up with when you travel is that everyone said there's 70 million people apparently who say they're Irish.
Really?
At least.
Well, I heard there was more people with an Irish passport than that could fit in Ireland.
Yeah, they're all from Britain, and they voted no to Brexit.
Oh, right. What? I mean,
In fact, the Irish Embassy ran out of passport applications the first weeks after Brexit, apparently. No, but I do remember it actually happened that a policeman in New York said to me, "Listen, is there any chance that you know my Aunt Mary? She's from Drogheda." And I went, really?
That used to happen to me when I said that I was from Wales, because I come from
it's the
Wales,
same,
and they
you
said,
know.
do you know Di Jones?
Yeah.
And I used to say, yeah, he's had his leg off, you know.
Or he's out on parole.
He's had his leg off, you know. Lee, thank you for coming in for the balcony banter. Sometimes we just go off on a tangent and you're sat there like Piffy on a brick thinking, what am I doing here? I can't just turn my camera off, can I?
It's giving me 5 minutes away from. This sounds daft now, isn't it? It's giving me 5 minutes away from my screen. I'm looking at another screen.
But Lee, you're probably half Irish anyway. Most people are.
And Angry Vella, thank you very much for the donation there. Thank you very, very much. Graham? Okay. We got,
well, that is it's the same thing.
we got 259 people, so where are the other 750 people? That's what I want to know.
Watching on catch up.
We're going to watch it on catch up. Christina's drinking a Guinness. I'm drinking a wine. If anybody will pour it to me, well, I've got the warm bottle because.
Hey, let's have a little bit of a test here, shall we?
A sing song.
No, I'm going to test something out. How many people have you got watching?
262.
Okay, right, here we go. I'm going to go and post this now.
Macmaster Live now on Tim's channel. Get over there.
Dun.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I actually got some more things from yesterday. Some more subscribers, Lee. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You were. I said you were brilliant. I mean, everybody said you were brilliant. I just was quiet. At one point, I have to say, I thought he's going to tell me off after this live stream finished because I was a bit like I felt a bit like Piers Morgan.
Piers Morgan, yeah, you're grilling me.
Oh, really? We're going to storm out.
I'm telling you off as if it's you that's making the rules.
It's not me making it. I just read them. I mean, the thing is, I don't know everything. People say you're very knowledgeable. I'm not. I just you ask me to do stuff and I read up on it. So I actually use information immediately. I get it and sound clever. But basically,
like
anybody
for
can
an
do
exam, isn't it?
Yes, anybody can do it.
Yeah.
All you got to do is know where to get the information. I suppose that is a skill.
Yeah.
That is a skill. I actually read
But
out.
also how to regurgitate it.
Right. I actually have an aftcast. Let me just put this in number. Where am I? B. There you go. I've got an aftcast, which is like a podcast, and it goes out every day. I haven't done today's yet because well, there was a lot of stuff going on today, but I put it every day, Monday to Friday, and there I give you a little bit of weather, I give you a little bit of the COVID information, and then I read out the headlines at Janet Anscombe's website.
Yep.
And I pick a couple of the ones that I like to read in completeness.
From Adeje.
From Adeje. Then I go to the government website, gobiernodicanarias.org/noticias. And there I just read the headlines out and say, go over there if you want to read more. And then I usually get an email off Cleo here from Adeje Town Hall, and they give me the gen on anything that's happening locally. So basically, I just take all the information, package it up, and then send it out. And it's the same with you, Lee. I really do tend to do that. Use the information as quickly as possible.
But I mean, that's basically what a hack does. Sometimes I will get a call from BBC Wales. BBC Scotland was the last one, actually. I was on BBC Scotland a couple of weeks ago and said, hi, just want to talk to you about what life's like in the Canary Islands at the moment. So you kind of go for half an hour and you check the 4 websites that you know you trust for the information. And by the time they phone you, you just sound like an expert.
Oh, you do.
And that's the way to do it.
For anybody who doesn't know who Cleo is the communications office for the Adeje Town Hall.
One of them.
One of the communications officers. But she is also restarting Adeje Sur radio station.
The English language programme is going to be back on Radio Sur after Easter.
After Easter, so that's
107.9 FM.
And also she does a podcast every Monday with Janet Anscombe, which is a
Canary Cast.
Yeah, it's called Canary Cast, and if you put that into your
the
search of podcasts, whatever you use for podcasts.
Anchor FM is the
It's
platform.
on Anchor FM, and it's under Cleo O'Flynn, right?
Yeah, or I think if you just put Canary Cast Anchorage,
Canary
it come
Cast.
up.
So you go and get all that. And Janet Anscombe's actually, she was in the Christmas honours list, was she?
She's an MBE now.
She's an
yeah.
MBE now. So Janet Anscombe, MBE. That's like the last three.
Yeah, but her page is .com, not .mbe.
No, but Janet, the word Anscombe ends with
Oh
MBE.
yeah, MBE. Aren't you smart?
I'm clever.
Oh, look
Janet
at you.
Anscombe.
No flies on him.
ANSCOMBE.
Good man. If she was born to it, then.
Born to be. Lee, I'm leaving you hanging again. Get your nose out of your screen.
I've just posted on all the McMaster Facebook pages and YouTube things, so hopefully
we've only got three people now. They've all gone over to your channel.
I'll post it all here.
They're all saying bye.
What do we want?
Paul Robbins is saying Parmo or Teesside is a dish originating in Middlesbrough. Teesside and popular item of takeaway food in the Teesside area. It consists of breaded cutlets of chicken or pork and cheese. So
It's
it's a
a bit schnitzely.
Oh,
Schnitzely.
it's like Parmo chicken. Oh, Parmo, I remember that. It's Australian, isn't it? Get a Parmo.
Ah, a bit of a pound.
Bit of a Parmo there.
But would you have that in Patriots Day?
You think so?
Ah, but did it with a couple of tinnies and you're sorted.
Yeah, sorted.
Lovely.
She can do it much better than I can.
Are we going for some of that?
I'll go back to Russian now.
Good lad, that's great. That's fabulous.
I actually do know a little bit of Russian. It's called "Do svidaniya lieta," and it sounds really, really
Do
rough.
svidaniya.
Do svidaniya lieta. You know, goodbye to your life. But actually, it actually means goodbye summer. And it was it was on the BBC Two, we learn Russian thing when I was a kid, and I used to watch that. Da.
Well,
that's all I remember.
You
was
don't say that here.
No,
Goodbye, summer.
But the thing is, you
well,
had to learn
yeah,
Russian as a kid, right?
Say again? No, I did not.
You didn't have to learn Russian
No.
as a kid?
No.
No.
My first foreign language was English.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Then you're very young then.
Or
Very young.
Depends on where we are.
Or dissidents, or a dissident maybe. I don't know.
That's right. Her family were. We don't talk about it.
talk about the
We
family.
don't talk about it. Well, we could always go back to Australia. It's a
Okay,
bit more comfortable
Lee,
there.
we're talking today about national identity, and
Okay.
I put like national identity, then I put
Nationalism and patriotism.
patriotism, and then nationalism. And so, how do you feel? Do you feel English, British, UK, European, or are you sort of like mid-Atlantic, split between the USA and Britain?
I spent 12 years in the USA.
I know.
I sound very. I mean, I hope to go back to the USA eventually, if I can get Sarah to move with me, which would be interesting. It's like I might move in mountains. But I'm a patriotic. I always say I'm English, and it's interesting because when I used to fill all the forms in to go into the States from a visa, they used to put nationality, and I always like hung around. Sometimes I'd put Great Britain, British, English, United Kingdom.
Yeah.
And you never know what to put. I'm thinking, but now I think, no, I'm English. I'm English. I'm not British. I'm not European. I'm not United Kingdom. I'm English.
Are you Southern English or Northern English?
Well, my girlfriend says I'm from the middle of nowhere because I'm in the Midlands.
The Midlands. The Midlands. Do you eat pork butties with gravy?
Well, that's Birmingham, isn't it?
Oh, is that
I'm more-
pork butties?
Birmingham,
I'm-
is it?
Birmingham.
I'm
Anthony
Nottingham.
Petty just sent another £5 to confirm. Ho guys, Lee, it's called Parmo after back to school. Lol.
What?
Palmo. I'll have to have a look at that. I will
Yeah,
have
just
a look
pretend
at
you don't understand again. He might send us some more money.
Lee, when
Anthony
or
Petty,
why
thank
did
you
you
so
change?
much.
I'm just curious as to why Lee, or when you finally said, no, I'm actually English. I mean, was it an event in your life? Was it something that happened in the country, or something that other people described to or said to you?
I never liked England, and I always wanted to get out of it, and that's why I went over to the States, and I bought in New Jersey. I lived there, and I turned my back on England a bit, and I don't like England, and blah blah blah. And I like America. I love America because I grew up watching America on the TV when I was a kid.
Didn't
And
we
then
all?
the more years that I lived there and went out and dated American girls and stuff, I figured out that England wasn't that bad after all.
Yeah. It's not the same as on the telly, sure it's not.
No.
They're not all like Rhoda and Mary Tyler Moore. Sorry, now I'm aging myself here.
Oh my golly gosh, yeah. Rhoda and Mary Tyler Moore.
No, because it's interesting.
Rhoda.
Yeah.
I remember that. Wow.
Carlton the doorman. But, I mean, as an Irish person, okay, living here for 20 years, but as a journalist who kind of followed Brexit quite avidly, I've noticed that certain people have changed how they describe themselves from being British to being either Irish, Welsh, Scottish, or English. And I mean, I wonder if it was you're kind of now plumping for being English rather than British. Is that a political statement, or is it just how you feel in your heart and soul?
It's I'm not political at all. I will say I'm not political at all because they all argue with each other, don't they? I think they're all as bad as each other. But
Yeah.
I didn't vote in Brexit because I was in the States at the time and I wasn't here. So I figured, well, I shouldn't really have a say in it anyway, so I didn't. But now, if I was going to vote back then, I would have said stay in the EU, makes things a lot easier, and you can travel freely. But now, more and more things that, I don't want to get too political, but the more and more things that Europe are doing annoy me a little bit, and I think you're having a dig at us, and I'm starting to feel a bit more defensive about
That's the problem,
England
isn't
or
it?
Britain. Even with I don't want to. If I'm talking out of line, Tim.
No, you're not. No, you can say anything you want on my channel. Anything you want.
With the AstraZeneca drugs, for instance, they're Europe are banning it. I feel they're banning it.
But they haven't banned it. Ireland are restarting in 2 days.
Yeah, and
They're starting.
Yeah.
They're starting it up again. They just stopped to investigate it further.
It was just
You
an
see,
investigation.
isn't that about interpretation and media?
No, I
But
think-
they never banned it.
I think the thing is, Janet Anscombe actually touched on this, and what she said was that the way that certain media outlets in the UK whip up this anti-European
Sentiment.
furore,
Yeah.
and then they tell you half-truths, and then they sort of whip you into a certain direction, and you have to think that way because that's where you get your information from. If you, that's why speaking different languages is good, because then you can go to different news outlets.
True, actually.
And
Yeah.
you can sort of get a balanced propaganda. You
Yeah.
know, so it's all propaganda, but you can sort of balance it. If they're all saying the same thing, then it's probably going to be true.
Yeah.
And if there's like UK is saying the Europeans are punishing us for breakfast.
Well, that's been a long time.
English
coming,
breakfast, there you go,
It's
Lee.
cholesterol. It's cholesterol.
But
You
yeah,
know,
so-
that's better. We move away from politics and stick to
No, but
breakfast.
I think the thing is that you do get your information from certain places, and I think they do whip it up slightly. But to tell you the truth, Europe couldn't care less. To tell you the truth,
No.
And
I mean, I don't think there's anything. It's like people think the fact that they're the 90-day rule with the swallows, and that's a whole nother story, Lee. But they're saying it's because we're British. No, it's not. This is the rule that was. So I mean,
it's been in place since 1973.
I think a lot of English people, perhaps more than Scottish, Northern Ireland, or Welsh people, a lot of English people feel that Europe is anti-them. And really it's not, but it's perhaps more protectionist now. It's feeling more protective of the Union. I know I maybe do a little bit because I'm quite pro-Europe. So I feel quite protective of the fact that my European identity is what I want it to be. And I like being European. So perhaps that's being manipulated. Perhaps I'm being manipulated too a little bit.
I think we're all manipulated to a certain extent, and you know, an upbringing and a culture is in effect manipulation.
Yeah, of course it is.
You know, because otherwise they just leave you to be an anarchist like you were born to be an anarchist.
back to
a selfish child.
environment or education. It's back
Right.
to the old.
Weren't we talking about Piers Morgan again?
Who are they? That's the thing.
Wow.
They.
There's a lovely Gary
Oh, not
Larson.
us.
You know Gary Larson,
Gary
the
Larson,
cartoonist. There's a lovely Gary Larson cartoon of the wife coming down with the rollers in her hair and her dress going on, and she opens the door of a tiny room, and there's a man tapping away at the computer, and she says, "So you're they," and it's just
Exactly.
I mean, I worked in, I still work in media for the newspapers, even though I don't read them. Tell everybody I don't read the news, but I do work. I film for the newspapers here. And the media here are a totally different ball game to when I was in the United States. I used to have to find myself tuning in on a VPN to watch Sky News or BBC News or whatever, because I found the American news was just garbage. It was terrible.
Christina used to say something about that because we lived in Virginia, didn't we? And they'd lie. They'd say more at 10. You know, like dog bit somebody in Powhatan County, more at 10, and they didn't bring it.
Yeah.
It's just like sound bites, isn't it? I got to read a couple of things. Premislav. I did practice his name when I met him last year, but Premislav Kizapolski says that, hello everyone in Poland, national identity is very important, comma, we have had independence for 30 years. So maybe that is a clue that the countries that have sort of fought to be independent are more nationally identified than countries that have dominated the world.
Which is
so
why
that's
Ireland...
why maybe that people don't identify as being English, you know, because they were never conquered since the Normans.
Not yet.
Since the they were conquered, but the Normans, you know.
Yeah, no, I mean, and
so I think so. So that's
and possibly the when of the independence. I mean, this year, 2021, Ireland it'll be the centenary of our Civil War.
Correct. And 23 is going to be the independence, right?
No, it was.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, 20 was the Civil War and then independence. But say 1948 was when we declared ourselves a republic and left the Commonwealth.
Okay.
So there's a
Will I be still alive then?
No. But your later hosen will.
Definitely.
You know, and what I mean is, though, so for us it's 100 years old. In the last, there was a message from the Queen of England, for the Queen of Great Britain, to Ireland yesterday.
The Queen and the Empire.
But no, reminding us or remembering her visit 10 years ago, and that was a huge moment in Irish-British relations.
Right.
That the Queen went to Ireland on a state visit, the very first state visit. So our independence was 100 years ago, and we've moved through that. And perhaps our nationalism is now slightly less sharp at the edges.
Okay.
Whereas for somewhere like Poland, 30 years ago, Hungary, I remember, 1958, I think, was the Hungarian Revolution, and when they fought for their independence, that's, you still have people alive who probably took up arms.
Right.
So that makes a difference, doesn't it? I mean, Juliana, in Germany as well.
It takes time. Like, for instance, Germany, and you wouldn't think that there are people speaking the same language that were separated, but it took a long time, and I'm talking 20 years or so.
A generation at
until we
least.
accepted the Aussies
Yeah.
coming over buying our kitchens.
Yeah.
there you go.
Nuclear.
That's an inside joke. There's such an accent difference. It's like sort of Saxon.
And then I go, ja mei,
Yeah,
and Schema.
That's an East German taking the mickey out of the Bavarian accent. There you go. Rick's online. Rick Tenerife Vlogcast. Sorry to butt in here, but I've got to say hi to Rick.
Hi, Rick.
For Tenerife Vlogcast. Vlogcast. I moved to Holland when I was 19 and spent 15 years there. I got a real shock when I went back to the UK, such a backward way of thinking, unfortunately. So I'm pleased to be living in Tenerife now.
Excellent.
There
Well
you go.
done.
Yeah.
You
Well
just
done.
ostracised all the people in the UK.
But I mean,
But-
when I go home to Dublin, I don't recognise half of it.
No, I don't either. I when I go back to Britain, one story, Lee, before you go. Well, when I went back to Britain, the first time in a long time, I think it was it could have been my mum's funeral, or it could have been before that. I could have just been visiting my mum. And I went to a supermarket, and the woman looked at me right in the eyes and said, "Chip and pin?" And I had no idea what she was saying. And I said, "I beg your pardon?" She said, "Chip and pin." And I said, "I am sorry, I understand that you're saying two words, but I don't know what it is." And she says, "Where have you been?" I said, well, I've been living in Germany for the past 15 years. She says, well, chip and pin means get your card out and put your PIN code in. But that, to me, just showed me that I just missed it all, you know? And
In Ireland, it's tap. Are you going to tap?
You're going to tap?
What?
You're going to tap?
Tap means you tap your card.
Is that it?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have known that either.
No, and the first time I was going, what?
Yeah.
Tap? Yeah, tap your card.
In Germany, it's like, give me your cash.
Do you know they don't have chip and pin in America? You have a chip in the card, but you don't put a pin number in, so you can pick the card up off the ground, go into the store, and you can just put your card in there, or you still sign.
That's the land of the free for you there, buddy.
Yeah.
That's the land of the free there. You can spend anybody's money you'd like.
Under the Constitution, I have the right to bear arms. I have the right to spend your money.
You have the right to bear arms, America, but you do not have the right to bear artillery.
Yeah, or your arses either. I said the rude word again.
And,
No, I'm
Can I
sorry.
Again.
sorry, Lou, I've got to turn you up here because the girls are just shouting you down here.
It's our fault.
Say that again. Say that again.
Can I start a bit of controversy?
Oh yeah, we like controversy on this
Yeah,
channel, don't we?
yeah, we
as
love
long as
it.
you're not nasty, you can be controversial.
Okay, so
Just mute him.
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Who's right? Was she lying, or
Who
was she
cares?
not?
Well, the thing is, I didn't watch
don't
it,
give
so I don't know.
I didn't watch
Yeah.
it.
I didn't watch it.
No.
I didn't.
No,
what did she say?
Irrelevant to me. Utterly irrelevant.
No, but he wants to be controversial. So what did she say?
Well, I didn't watch it all. I mean, it's a bit boring.
Yeah.
But I did feel a bit patriotic at that point. That's
You
what I'm
did?
talking about. Yeah, and I felt a bit like, you've gone to America now. You're American. Could you stay out of leave my queen alone? And I'm not really. I'm thinking,
Leave the Queen alone.
leave my queen
Hands
alone.
off the Queen.
Hands off the Queen.
And I thought to myself, well, I've never really been a royalist, and it doesn't interest me. But I thought, she's come over here, and now she's having a pop at our queen.
But she didn't go over, did she? She was brought over by her intended.
Was she?
Yeah, but she said,
she?
I never Googled him. Get out of here. I mean,
But
I thought she was a bad actress.
Two rich
when she
people got married and decided to go to another country. Dot.
Dots, yeah. It's like the way when people say, what football team do you support? And I just say, football. Isn't that where 22 millionaires run round the field in their underwear after a bag of wind? It means nothing to me.
No. I mean, the only royal family that interests me at all, even slightly, are the Spanish royal family. Because, I mean, I grew up in Ireland, and I'm quite interested because Queen Letizia was a journalist, and she's an interesting person.
But isn't she British?
Funnily enough, she's Asturian.
Asturian?
Yeah, so
From
she...
Astoria?
Yeah.
You know
all
where
the way.
Astoria is? Like in the north of Spain.
And it's not in Britain.
No. But, I mean, it used to belong to us, but
Actually, the whole world didn't actually belong to you.
I think it did.
No, I think Spain was an empire too. Maybe.
Yeah, but I mean, the Spanish Armada and all that.
What, they're more or less just Brits with dark hair and brown eyes.
Exactly.
Okay.
They're the Cornish that couldn't swim.
Well, they did go to Donegal by mistake. Remember that?
They
The Spanish
did.
Armada took a wrong turn
Yeah.
and ended up in the north of Ireland.
And they said, come here and have a drink with us,
Yeah.
while you're waiting for the
Yeah.
English.
But they said it as Gaeilge. And we'll ceadagum dul go dtí letters, they said, which means can I go to the toilet, which is all I can remember in Irish.
In Australian. Wayne Warburton's online. Hi, Wayne. I just saw that. Every country is interdependent, he's saying.
Nice. Yeah,
I think
like it.
interdependency is... thank you. Christina's got a
Sorry.
new mic stand. You see that the microphone is closer to her lips just in case she decides to say something. Or if she can get a word with edgeways.
If I can get the chance to say something.
If she gets a
Because
chance.
you blabber, blabber, blabber.
Do you know, Christine, what we're doing is we're counting, because there's a little contest on tonight. If you don't say more than 1,003 words, then Tim gets to have one of these brand new Insta 360 go-tos.
You've told me.
Wow.
I love it. That's great.
I got 250 people online. We're 54 minutes in. We're about to finish, actually. I do
I'm gonna leave
apologise.
now.
Sorry?
I have to. Excuse me. I have to leave now.
You have to leave now. We're just going to play Vamos a la Playa and we're dancing.
You want me to dance?
Yeah, we're going to dance
Yeah.
in a minute. We didn't do the topic justice. Not everybody got to speak on it, I believe. Giuliani has got to. I always dominate the thing. I know that. I do.
And I'm a bit
apologise.
of a chatterbox.
But it's called balcony banter, and
Right.
I'm enjoying the banter.
And what I want you all to do is I want you to go and subscribe to Christina's new channel, which is I'm not saying nothing. .com. I think it's lwmst.com. I'll put a website up.
I just tell you something.
Go ahead.
Yes.
I'm having this Guinness here, and it doesn't taste as nice as when I was pregnant.
No.
Good, yeah, I get that.
But you know what? Maybe it's because it's in an
She wants
Oktoberfest.
another child, Tim.
Do you want another child, darling?
No,
Do you want another Guinness, love?
I'd rather another Guinness. And Giuliani has got julianinendel.com. She's also on YouTube at Giuliani Nendel.
That's
And Lee, we need to get her up to as many people as possible. So you've been you know Giuliani sir, for a long time now.
When
And
you come back, I will have another interview.
another
Lee.
interview. And
Yes.
are you still talking to Daniel?
Yes, that is about to happen as well.
That's about to happen as well. So if you're ready for the Crackmaster interview, you've got to subscribe to Giuliani Nendel beforehand. Okay? So I'll put all the links. In fact, the link is in the description because I put it in every week anyway before we go live.
Yes.
Cleo, as I said, has got the podcast on a Monday, and she's starting off the English language Tenerife Sur radio station again.
On Radio
Can
Sur
you-
Adeje.
ca- Radio Sur, can you get that on the internet as well?
Yes, you can.
And you can get
Yeah,
it on,
and I
so
always
Radio Sur Adeje, and she does English
I-
time on a Thursday, right?
English time will be going out on Thursdays after Easter, and I always upload it as a podcast
Oh, and it's
afterwards.
uploaded as a podcast as well. Are you going to upload that to your personal one?
Yes,
or?
and to a Adeje Town Hall
And to a
Facebook
Decking
page.
Town Hall for life,
In fact, for everybody who's watching, anybody who wants to know more about Adeje, Adeje Town Hall is the official English language Facebook page of the council.
Yes, and it's all in English, which
It's
is
all
good.
in English. It is
So it's an
indeed.
English language Facebook page.
Managed by yours truly.
And of course, we wouldn't be the same without Lee, who was popping in for 5 minutes and has stayed the whole hour.
Thank you, Lee.
In fact, he was probably in the back office waiting because he said it'd be on at 6:15, and I didn't look in the room until 6:45. So. Anyway, so Lee, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for the wonderful thing yesterday.
pleasure.
It was really, really good. Thanks for enjoying Balcony Banter today, and I do apologise to everybody who I didn't read your comments, but we do go and read them afterwards, don't we?
Yes,
and,
we do.
And we can't comment on the chat, okay? But we can comment on a comment that you can put afterwards. So if you've said something in the chat that you want a response to, either go to timothydowd.com and send me a message, or comment after this is all finished on the actual commenting thing, and then Giuliani and Cleo and Christina can see it.
I love that, the commenty thing.
Exactly.
That's
The
actually
commenty
techno
thing.
speak.
And maybe out of your comments, we can create the next
Indeed.
topic and even pick up on some of it that we missed today.
Yeah, we did miss a question that I sent out, which was your first and last job. So
Yeah,
we're going to
interesting.
do
Yes.
that next week.
Interesting.
So the first and last job we'll do it next week. And there was also one about how do you get by with depression. So that might be a whole show
Yeah.
that we might do. We're not medical, but we can help with positive thinking
our
And
own
counselling.
experiences,
and counselling. Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, you can win at the minute. You can win a counseling session and yes, an online session or geo coaching with me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So go to julianinendel.com.
No, it is actually at my very good friend's Instagram account, Canarias Eco.
Is eco as in ecological?
Yeah,
Okay, Canarias Eco.
Eco.
And go to Instagram and have a look at that, and then you can win coaching with Giuliani.
Yeah.
Or geo-coaching.
Or
which
geo-coaching,
which is
whichever
going
you want.
Up in the mountains.
If you're willing to lose a few kilos, might be for you, Tim.
Later, how's baby?
Well, I hope I win.
Yeah.
Well, talk about trying to
Liar.
influence the jury, you know.
I hope I win.
No.
But I will accept the decision if I'm not the winner. I will accept it.
Where does he get that meek, mild
But
voice from?
could I use a brand new 360 Go
No,
action
you
camera?
couldn't.
Yes.
No,
I
you
could.
couldn't.
Could I
Juliana
use-
could.
That's the incentive. That's the incentive.
Ladies and gentlemen, I know you've been all waiting for. You've all been waiting for Vamasal Player, and we're going to do this right now. So I do apologise for not reading. Well, I don't apologise. Somebody wrote to me and said, "Don't apologise all the time, Tim." So
True.
I didn't get to read all your comments. I'm sure that I will read them later. If there's anything you want to tell me about, timothydow.com, send me a message. But we're going to crank up the thing for Vamos a la Playa right now. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready to dance.
Vamos a la playa.
Thank you very much for listening and watching today, ladies and gentlemen. This was Balcony Banter with Tim Dowd, your host, and his wife Christine, and Juliani Nendel from Holistic Mentoring, and Cleo O'Flynn from Adeje Sir. And not forgetting our special guest, dancing away there, Digi Eyes himself, Lee the Macmaster. Whoa, whoa. Actually, what's going to happen is I'm going to solo me. Oh, solo mio. YouTube is probably going to do it the wrong way. There you go. Offer you something new here. Maybe you could watch that one. It's one of our old ones over here. If you're watching it live, it won't work. But if you're watching catch up, it will. And then you can subscribe here. And if you go and click on our wedding photo, it'll show you how you can support the channel. We'd like to thank each and every one of you today. Lee, thank you so much. If you got 2 minutes, just stay on when we're gone.
Okay.
I've got to say this. The software I'm using, when I stop the feed, it cuts it off a bit early. So I'm going to do a bit of a test today. I'm going to leave the music